welcome back. I'm finally filming for the first time since before July ended. I told you making lists was not good for me for reading because I didn't end up depressed because I was making a list. It was life in general plus the list. Anyways.
It's August 7th, so let's see when this actually goes up. I'm trying to hold myself accountable.
It's not fun when you're depressed. Okay, so I was planning on doing like a bake and talk about the books I read this month, but that's just going to be way too much because I read 18 books this month. And I'm not going to be baking for that long, if I'm being completely honest. So I figured I would just like tier rank this month and then kind of do dedicated bake and book talk, I guess. Where I'll talk about like my favorite books from July while I'm baking instead of like all of them. Yeah, that sounds good. I think I'll do that. Make it easier on myself, and then that way I can hopefully recruit my boyfriend and just kind of stand in front of him and talk while he bakes for me. The worst girlfriend ever. Hey. So yeah, so this will be my July wrap up, but tier rank. This was a long rambly intro and I'm sorry. Let's get into it.
Can you stop doing construction?
Okay, so first I guess I'll go over my... Oh no, actually, I should quickly talk about some stuff. I don't have the pages I read this month yet because I'm not that organized, but I read 18 books. Go me. 6 of which were manga volumes, so technically the total is 12 books, but...
I don't give a fuck. I'm counting it as 8.
I do, however, have like 21 little images to sort through because the Binti version that I read was the 3 novellas and then like a short story in between book 1 and 2, so I'm just going to talk about those all separately because I feel like they deserve that time. I'm going to tier rank them in order of like most favorite to least favorite, I guess, for everything that's not nonfiction, and then the stuff that is nonfiction. I guess I only have 1 nonfiction this month. Whatever. Anyways, the categories are I won't stop talking about these books, aka I'll probably do a bacon book talk about them, and they hold a special place in my heart. I literally just won't shut up about them. The next category is I like these books. Duh. The next one is these books were kind of slow, in which I feel like they took a while to get going. I'm sure I'll get into it more in detail. And then the biggest of meh for books that I just don't really care about. Yeah, and then nonfiction, because I read a nonfiction book this month and I really liked it, but I'm not gonna like put it in the not stop talking about it category because it's a very specific I won't stop talking about this, if that makes sense.
Can you stop doing construction?
Okay, so the first book that's coming up is the Binti bind-up, which I have counted for the Sacred Fire short story in between Binti and Binti Home. The Sacred Fire was so cute. I really like this one. I'm gonna put this in... I won't stop talking about this because I won't. Same with the first one. Which one did I like more? I'm just gonna put all 3 of the Binti up here, and then if I'm talking about this in terms of order that I read it, I did Binti, Binti Sacred Fire, Binti Home, Binti The Night Masquerade, and I really liked all of these. I think The Night Masquerade is my favorite. And then I think Sacred Fire. And then Binti, and then Binti Home. Binti Home was good. I just felt like I was more impatient with this section of the book. Like, I was counting pages repeatedly to see how much longer I had, and that usually tells me that I feel like it's dragging, and that might just be like my ADHD brain not being able to handle reading that day, or it might be the way it was written.
But I doubt it because, you know, the Okafor is so...
Take it with a grain of salt. All of these books are good. I think I cried like each one. By the end of book 2, I was like, that did not just happen. Oh my god. But it did, and it was amazing. There is a lot less science fiction-y stuff than I thought there was going to be. It's definitely Afrofuturism. It's about a black young girl finding her place in the world and grappling with like the new identities that have been thrusted upon her, and it's just great.
See, I won't stop talking about it.
The next book that I read was Five Dark Fates. It was kind of the biggest of meh. If you've watched my other videos, then you know how I feel about the rest of the Three Dark Crowns series. It started off so strong for me. I was loving it. It was so good. And then Two Dark Reigns and One Dark Throne kind of started dragging. And then Five Dark Fates, I mean, it felt like it was a satisfying end-ish. I just would have liked to see it happen sooner. Kind of felt like Jules went through all of that for nothing. I was kind of unsatisfied with how Catherine died. I wish it was more painful. I'm pissed Mirabella died in the way she did. It was meh. The next one is Gekken Shoujo Nozaki-kun Volume 1. I really liked this. It's super cute. It follows Chiyo Sakura, I think her name is, and Nozaki is like a mangaka, so he draws manga in a monthly magazine, and he writes under a pen name so nobody at school knows it's him. And so when Sakura goes to confess to him and say that she likes him, she accidentally ends up saying she's a fan. And then he just gives her an autograph, and then they kind of end up becoming friends. And Nozaki is just a big tsundere who doesn't know how to read the room. And Mikorin is really funny. I know in the anime he's voiced by the same voice actor who plays Bakugo in My Hero Academia in Japanese. I don't watch the dubbed. Yeah. So anyways, next is the Kaguya-sama Love is War series, and this is 2 of the top students at this high school in Japan who are also on the student council, are super smart, and they are trying to get one another to like confess their feelings for each other without acknowledging the fact that they like one another. It's really funny. It's really cute. I highly recommend the anime as well. That's actually what got me into the manga, and this is a reread, so it's really good for me. I love it. It got me back into reading this month, so we love you, Kaguya, and we love you, Kaguya and Shiro. Wow. We love you, Kaguya and Shirogane. I still butchered that. Shirogane. 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 Miyuki. We love you, Kaguya and Miyuki. So all of these I really liked. So they're all going here.
I think,
You know, there was like a few, because it's volumes, there's some of the like stories in it that I didn't really like. And I remember when I was reading it weekly, I was like, oh my god, that's it, that's all we got. But reading it in like a big bound volume really helped it this time around. So I'm glad that I have more to read, if that makes sense. And there's also some like chapters that aren't included in the anime that are really good, so I don't know, you should just check it out if you like romance and jokes and schemes. My lips are chapped, sorry. The next books that I'll talk about are Muse of Nightmares and Strange the Dreamer, and these belong on I Won't Stop Talking About These. I picked these up because Monae told me that there was like really good romance in it, and that was something that I was really craving at that point. Little did I know it was gonna completely destroy me the way it has. We need to talk about Myonna as a possible, like, the best morally gray villain I have seen written this year. Hands down. And, like, why did that have to happen at the end of book 1? Was there no other way in which book 2 could have continued, in which the ending in book 1 did not happen? I don't know. Laini Taylor's writing is something special. If you liked The Starless Sea, like I said in my Starless Sea review, you'll probably like Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. They're very lyrical, they're very show versus tell. The first book took a lot longer for Laszlo to even get to weep than I thought he would, and it was just great. And I wasn't bored with it, is where I'm going with that point. Oh my god, my brain is all over. I am so sorry. So, I think I really liked it so much because it took, like, Laini took her time in each place to kind of build up the story. We weren't just, like, in a place to be in a place to keep the plot going. I mean, I guess we were, but semantics, right? Anyways, I think I might put Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. I think I do like Strange the Dreamer more than Muse of Nightmares. Just because there's so much pain in Muse of Nightmares. I just wanted happy. Poor Monae had to deal with so many DMs from me. She's honestly the best human ever for putting up with me, sorry. That was so good. And the next book is Riot Baby. I was able to like write a Goodreads review in depth, a very long one right away for this book, and so I really liked it. I think I liked Binti more than Riot Baby, although I think I cried similar amounts for both, even though Riot Baby is so much shorter. Riot Baby is following these two siblings, Kevs and Ella. Ella has, like, powers. It's kind of, like, I guess it's speculative fiction. There's some, like, sci-fi elements that are completely realistic, in my opinion, and I like how it ties into the prison complex, and I like how it ended with them finally being able to come together and, I don't know, reunite as a family after so long apart. I have so many feelings. Tochi Onyabuchi killed this book. I highly suggest you read it, especially given this summer's current political atmosphere. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about it. The next one is The City of Brass, and I liked this book way more than my manga. I actually am planning on rereading The City of Brass and Kingdom of Copper once I get my UK editions, because I was kind of just reading it to read and like finish it, and I just didn't really pick up what I wanted to, so I'm not going to like talk about it too much this month, or for this month. I'll go in depth when I reread it, because I did like it. It's just there's so much going on that I need to really sit down and marinate with what I'm reading before I want to talk about it, if that makes any sense. So the next book is The Cruel Prince. I liked it, but it wasn't like my super favorite, if that makes sense. Like, there was very little diversity. There was like severe bullying, but Holly Black was good at writing in a way that didn't feel super show versus tell. Like, she kept the suspense high, the political intrigue good. She revealed information at like just the perfect amount of time, so like I liked it. I really enjoyed my time that I spent with this book. I'm definitely continuing the series. It's just like, I was thinking about it in comparison to like a Sarah J. Maas book, and I was like, I feel like it's the same, but it's a little bit better than a Sarah J. Maas. But it's a little bit better than a Sarah J. Maas book because I enjoyed the way Holly showed instead of told, whereas Sarah J. Maas does a lot of telling versus showing. Yeah, I don't know. And I just liked seeing the insides of the different brothers, I guess. I thought it was cool. It was fun. I would recommend it if you're looking for something that's fun and you don't have other Black and Indigenous and other people of color authors who you want to read first. I literally picked this up because of Myonna, and I really wanted to watch it or read it so that I could understand what she was talking about. And I do understand why people love these books. They're good, they're fun. I don't know how to feel about Queen of Nothing yet. I've heard some pretty controversial things about it, but I've also heard that The Wicked King is the best one in the trilogy, so that's something to look forward to. The next book that I'm talking about is The Dark Forest by Shijinu. This kind of drug on for me, if that makes sense. Like, the way the first book went, I was like, okay, we haven't had contact yet, but it'll come, right? And then it took another whole book. Like, 400 pages before there was finally some issues between the two species. And that's too much for me right now. My brain is like in so many other places. I was listening to the audiobook for this and it still felt like it was really slow compared to the Three Body Problem. I just wish stuff started happening sooner, and I know that he probably couldn't have made it start sooner because of the way he needed to intricately build stuff, but I don't know. It just wasn't really for me, but I am continuing because I want to know what happens. Maybe it suffers from the middle book syndrome. We'll see. The next book is The Starless Sea. This one is really good as well. I won't shut up about this. I made a whole dedicated video to it. I'll link it up above if you're interested. It's very strange to dreamer, muse of nightmares. It's lyrical, magical, superb. I could go on. I won't, to save you your sanity. I just love it. The next book is This Place, 150 Years Retold. This is also really good. This is the top of the top of I like these books. There were more in this anthology that I liked more than others. I wish that there was more like sci-fi in this anthology, because like with this you're kind of left to believe that it's going to be more sci-fi than it is, and there's just one at the end that was the sci-fi one. I don't know. It was really good either way. I highly suggest you pick it up and read it. It's got some great Canadian Indigenous history stories retold in a way that's kind of empowering for us, and it's just great to see. I love it. Also, Kath, one of my Twitter friends, gets to work with one of the authors in this anthology, and we love to see it. So the last book is White Rage. This is going in the nonfiction section because I really liked it, but like I said, this is not a book that I will talk about just to talk about. It made me so mad and so angry and so hurt, and especially after finishing the Bob Joseph book last month about the Indian Act and everything that has kind of put us there in Canada for Indigenous folks, and then reading this really just pissed me off. And Felix is back. And that's all. I finished just in time.
6 of which were manga volumes, so...
I knew I should have taken it as an omen when he did a double shit.
He did a double shit?
Yeah, he did a double shit on the way and then...
On the way?
Yeah. And then no, can't take it off yet because there was quite a lot of goose poop.
Oh, you gonna shower him?
Yeah, he managed to avoid most of it, but we were doing it like when he comes back, put him on his side, and then he was much better at giving up the ball.
Yeah.
And when I put him on his side, he rolled in a bit of poop.
Oh. Gross.
But it was only once.
Poop-filled day?
Yeah, and he was really good about it, about not going after the poop until the very end, and then he started trying to eat a bunch of it. I had to try and stop him. I stepped in his water. Oh, gross. Thanks, Bench. Let's go.
He would have to jump on every surface.
Yeah, jump on every surface, make sure he's got his shitty paws everywhere.
Yep, love it.